I tried, guys. I really did. I tried to make sure my next video was like, something positive, uplifting, something quirky or silly, something I find in the news I could just laugh at, just anything along those lines. But I found out I just gotta stop reading the news. I just gotta stop watching the news. Just gotta, anyway. There's a news story I saw and I was reading through, and I was just like, wow, we're still stuck in the dark ages. Anyway, the routine. Links in the video description. I'll put a little excerpt on the screen here so you guys can follow along at home too. Like I said, we're still stuck in the dark ages. There's a man, and I'll put a little information on the screen here. Man by the name of Jeff McGrath. He made headlines last week in Seattle, California, because Seattle's in California. Seattle, Washington, Rainier Beach, where he made headlines for becoming an openly gay scout leader for the Boy Scouts of America. And this was all fine and well, and he was holding his scout meetings and everything, when all of a sudden it's a violation of scout policies to have a gay scout leader. Now, bring it back to here. If you read through that little excerpt I put on the screen, you see that the United Methodist Church in Rainier Beach, why do I keep saying California? In Washington was the problem. I think it's because Rainier cherries are grown in California. Am I right? Who cares? Anyway, this United Methodist Church in Rainier Beach was a sponsor for the Boy Scouts in Seattle. I don't know the exact parameters of how they sponsor them. I'm sure they give them some sort of facility to hold their meetings at. A lot of churches I know do such things. They have some sort of recreational facility for them to use for their scout meetings, etc. Maybe back them a little bit financially, whatever. No harm in doing that. The church is the actual good guy here. It's not some, conservative Methodist church that's going, oh my God, there's a gay guy in the Boy Scouts, we got to get rid of him. I was surprised to see in this article, I was like, holy shit, it was the church that was advocating this, that was advising this, that was allowing this, because they were the, sponsor for the Boy Scouts here. And the Boy Scouts all of a sudden a month later like, well, this violates our policy of no gay guys, so he's got to go. Like I said, we're still living in the dark ages here, people. I just wish that in society, when there's nothing reportedly wrong about what's going on, his sexual preference choice has absolutely nothing to do with his leadership abilities and his abilities as an instructor in the Boy Scouts to be a scout leader. The fact that we're still hypersensitive to something that was all well and good, and all of a sudden we gotta just slam on the e-brakes. We just gotta stop everything from happening. Jesus Christ, the Boy Scouts of America, the group, not the actual Boy Scouts, the group itself is being more hypersensitive to this than the church is. My God, it was the church that was allowing this scout leader, that gave its endorsement and was just like, okay, it's a gay scout leader. Well, we'll still sponsor this group. And they're still actually going to allow the meetings to take place. The Boy Scouts are like, well, you're not allowed to wear any sort of, insignias or anything saying that you're a Boy Scout because we can't condone this. Fuck you. Fuck you, Boy Scouts of America. Again, not the Boy Scouts, the actual hierarchy group itself making this fucking decision. I mean, can we move past the times where like all gay people want to molest children and just shit like that? Like, I mean, on top of all that, is there some sort of conclusive proof that gay men have a higher tendency to do something heinous with children, something improper? I mean, how many times do I open the headlines and I see a heterosexual priest molesting an altar boy, or any just a heterosexual man committing an unsavory act with a child, be it abuse, neglect, or a sexual assault of some sort? see time and time again. Now I know you're going to say, well, there's a lot more heterosexual people than there's homosexual people, but proportionately, I sure as fuck don't see as many headlines. In fact, I can recall but a scant few of a homosexual person being charged with some sort of crime against children. The thing that pisses me off the most about this is these young impressionable minds in this group. I think they said it was like 13 to 15-year-old kids, it said in the article. I know it was around 15 years old, these kids were. These young impressionable minds are being taught by their organization that they signed up for that when you have a leader, someone you look up to, and they've done absolutely nothing reportedly wrong. I haven't seen any formal grievances that someone came out and said this Scoutmaster did, this Jeff McGrath did, anything improper, any sort of misconduct, anything of anything that was wrong, that was rude, anything. That when this person who's done nothing wrong, other than what he does in his private life that doesn't concern you, he can be taken away from you. Their services can be taken away from you. His leadership, everything, his ability, his know-how in life, all that can be taken away from you. Oh, what's that? He was a good, positive leader, and you're like, well, sorry, he does something in his personal life that the organization that you signed up for doesn't agree with. This would be like there's some sort of rule somewhere in the book saying there's no females allowed to be president of the United States, and then Hillary Clinton or someone gets elected, and a month later, like Congress is like, ah, shit, we got to impeach her because you can't let women be president. Why? Well, there's no conclusive proof that they're gonna fuck things up any worse than a man, but you know, we just can't allow it. Oh, what's that? She's done nothing wrong. Well, it's a rule. We gotta get rid of her. Like that's as ridiculous as what the Boy Scouts of America, again, the organization, not the actual Boy Scouts, are doing here. It just blows my mind to see stories like this, to see that this is still such a stigma with corporations, companies, and that just hell freezing over that the church is the one defending this. The church is the one that allowed this. And it was the actual group itself that said, well, we have some sort of policy written somewhere that they could have just ignored. They could have just absolutely ignored this and said, you know what, let's be the bigger men here and women and just allow this scout leader to continue on doing his business, and we'll remove him if he fucks up, if he does something improper. Which again, I'm not saying gay people are impervious to, you know, doing something wrong. I mean, gay, straight, and in between all do wrong things, all do something that violates our trust or anything like that, can do something along those lines. But until they do, let's not castigate them like there's some sort of stigma to society. Jesus Christ, again, are we still living in the dark ages? In some aspects of life, we absolutely are, and this is one of them. God, just let the guy lead his troop. My God, do the kids even give a flying rat's ass what he does in his personal life? On top of that, it's not like he's having a lesson about what butt sex is like or anything along those lines. He's going to do his job the way that he was supposedly, you know, reported to do, or what way a scoutmaster's supposed to do, what have you. I'm sure there's a handbook of some sort that he has to follow. My God. Oh, what's that? He's going to go on a camping trip and sleep in the same tent? Oh my God. Ah! I can tell you right now, there was a time when I was 14 years old, I slept in a tent, there was 5 girls in that tent. It means I slept with 5 girls. Yeah, the same night. Am I the fucking man or what? Oh, that means absolutely nothing of nothing. Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't get it. Well, I mean, in a way I do get it, because in certain aspects of society we are still in the dark ages, and shit like this still has to be done for the good of the policy and procedure to protect, you know, our youth. Fucking hell. Anyway, I think the ultimate decision should have been left up to the parents here. If the parents found a genuine problem with having an openly gay scout leader and they don't want to bring their kids in, fine, that's their decision. But if the parents had no problem, if the kids had no problem with this, then you know what? The company itself should have not stuck their nose into this and just left things go. This is one of those times where the status quo just makes everything just look embarrassing. Fucking hell. Gay scout leader, he lost his job. It's a volunteer job at that, I should say. You don't really call it a job if you volunteer for it, but anyways, you get what I mean. Anyways, have a great day, better tomorrow, and I'm going to try to find something that's a bit more positive and uplifting to make a video about. Hopefully. Sometime within the next 5 years, I'll find a story for you. Take care, everyone.